Lock in. It's time for proper thought. What are you doing in this exact moment right now?
About to click off this dumbass video?
What purpose is it serving you?
Apparently fucking none if you don't get on with it.
2024. Ah! 2024. They ain't believing us. God did! God did! Every circumstance and result that you face in your life today is a cause of how you view yourself, not an effect. It is because of how you view yourself. Do you have dreams, goals, aspirations, things out of reach in the current moment that you wish to attain in the future? Good, I'm glad. How do you expect to be the person that receives those blessings, that achieves those dreams, if you aren't currently viewing yourself as the person who is able to do that, as the person who is willing to do that? Self-image is the number one most important thing in life. And if you have not been taught to create a good one of a winner, one of a person whose life is an abundance of positivity and good flow, it has to be created. You have a hidden self-image. How do you view yourself? Better question, what results are you getting because of how you view yourself? What actions are you taking because of how you view yourself? What actions are you not taking because of how you view yourself? Do you have bad habits that you wish to be able to climb over but can't? Why? What belief do you hold center that you likely aren't even aware of? What belief is leading you to keep committing those actions which you find morally reprehensible? It's like if you struggle with masturbation, right? You keep having these thoughts, oh, I struggle with lust. If you keep bathing in the coping process, you will get nowhere. If you view the situation as a struggle, it is inevitably going to become one. Same with money. Same with the gym. If you view yourself as broke, as a person who is down, who struggles to get money, who has to go through a struggle to receive money, it is inevitably going to be a struggle to get money, and you're not going to be able to think of any ways where it would not be a struggle. Because that is the mindset that you have, the lack mindset. That's the frequency that you align with, because you keep it in your mind. Get that shit out of your mind and view yourself as a disciplined individual. Even if your actions of the past, of every moment leading up to now, don't reflect a disciplined individual, you still have to view yourself as the person who is disciplined in order to become that person. If I wake up in the morning and I'm struggling to get out of bed, that bed is the familiarity. That bed is what I already know to be my life. If I'm struggling to get out of it, the thoughts will arise like, oh, I didn't do this yesterday. I'm not a disciplined individual, so I'm not getting up on the right time. But if you were to observe those thoughts all day and see, it's me not believing that I'm disciplined, that's what's leading me to the undisciplined actions, an undisciplined lifestyle, you would flip that shit so quick and just say, okay, I am a disciplined individual, so I'm gonna go do this. You would lead with that at forefront. The other day I ran 8 miles for the first time. I know that ain't shit. Motherfuckers out here like David Goggins running 100 miles at a time, all right? I'm not there yet. But even in his book, he exclaimed, on the first quarter mile that he ever tried to run, he fucking went home and cried because he couldn't do it. And then he continued to try. I viewed myself as that person who could run those fucking 8 miles, and I ran those fucking 8 miles. I have a friend, Jackson. He's 7 feet tall.
You know what I'm saying? We back in this hoe. Y'all got the 7-foot view. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, beautiful out. Cold as fuck, but it's cool.
7 feet tall, my boy. Okay? This is my ride or die homeboy. Jackson was 340 pounds. Jackson was big as fuck. So what was Jackson gonna do? He said, man, I don't like the way I look in the mirror right now. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna become the person I wish to be instead of the person I see in the mirror in front of me right now. which only reflects the negative aspects of my life. So how am I gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna eat better and I'm gonna start running. Okay, first couple days goes by, barely runs any distance, keeps tracking the distance that he's running. Okay, how far can I go this time? Okay, how far can I go this time? It's not very far, because in the past, leading up to this moment, he has not made the proper decisions to be at the point that he wants to be. However, if he keeps looking at that distance, he's gonna keep thinking that he is the person who can't go the distance that he has set in his mind, the goal. He's gonna keep believing that he's the person who can't crush his goals. If he looks at the scale after a few days, after a week, all he's gonna see is the same thing as before, because this shit is not overnight. It takes, they say, 30 days to kill an old habit and make a new one. If that's the science behind habits, how long do you think it's really gonna take to become an entire new fucking person? Physically and mentally. It's a process. It's a long process that you have to be willing to start. So anyways, Jackson's stuck looking at the scale and seeing the same thing, not getting results. Jackson stuck running and not getting as far as he wants to go. He keeps putting in his mind the lack of being the person he wants to be, the lack of the skills to be where he needs to be. So what did he do to lose pretty much 100 fucking pounds and get down to 250? He threw away the scale, he threw away the distance, and he focused on the goal. Not the material aspects, but put himself in the mindset, okay, I am the person who can do this. I'm not the person that I keep seeing in the mirror. I'm not just this material manifestation of what my mind was. I'm going to be a successful individual. So if I'm going to be a successful individual, I need to view myself as the person who is able to garner that success right now, or else it's never going to come to me. Viewing money like you're broke. Like, fuck, man. I need to do this, this, and that because money is such a struggle, and it's been a struggle for me, my whole family, my whole life, and we can't do nothing because we're stuck. And making money is hard. Making money is not fucking hard. And I will tell you that right now. The fact that you're viewing it as a struggle is the reason that it is a struggle. It's the winner's image that you have to build. So how do we figure out how we view ourselves? How do we observe ourselves enough to realize, okay, these are the beliefs that are limiting me from becoming the person that I want to be? You have to observe the results that you currently have in your life. Your relationships, where are they at this point? What have they manifested into because of your beliefs prior coming to this moment? Your income, your personal appearance. All of these factors you have to take into consideration because they are all results currently happening in your life. The external reflects the internal. If you believe it, it's so. We receive what we believe. Hey, hey! Do you want to be the person who accepts gifts from the Creator? Or the person who thinks he is not good enough for those gifts? It all starts with thought. Every single result that is in your life currently is an outer expression of your inner image. Granted, these things take time to start changing, but once you grave in that winner's image, that proper image, the image that you wish to view yourself as, and fucking kill the old one, you will inevitably see change in your life and you will start to fall in love with it because you'll know you're exactly where you need to be. If you don't see change, I'd be pretty fucking scared, all right? But viewing yourself as this new person, as this person who is able and conquers every negative aspect of his life, a person who receives gifts from the universe, a person who is aligned with the proper frequency. In order to align with that frequency, everything in the universe is energy. All these energies emit vibrations, and each vibration aligns to a particular frequency. What do you want in your life? You're going to have to align with the frequency of what you want. And if what you want is better than what you have right now, you're going to have to take actions in order to get yourself there. You feel so good when you push weight and go to the gym or go on a run. You feel so good after that. That's because it's aligning you with the results that you want. And every time you do an action that is opposite of that, you feel like shit because it's the opposite of your internal desire. To have abundance, not lack. If you keep looking at things from this lack mindset, your life will never be abundant. These are limiting beliefs which are so hard to break, but let me tell you, every person who has ever been successful in history, truly successful, has mastered this practice, forgets their losses, is not the person who they were familiar with growing up. Because in teenage years and adolescence, we form many negative beliefs about ourselves, especially when our environment doesn't reflect complete and utter positivity, that some people, their whole lives is a process of breaking these beliefs. But if you start now, imagine how far you can be. So how? What's the starting point? The starting point is observation. Observing your thoughts, observing your actions, observing your feelings when you have certain thoughts and when you do certain actions. Self-awareness is the key. Awareness is the key to unlock the person that you want to become. You have to be aware of exactly what you're doing, exactly when you're doing it. What are you giving your attention to? What are you allowing to grip your attention? Is it something that you willed? Is it something that you said, okay, I am going to give my attention to this thing because I know it will bring me proper results? Or is it something that you were like, fuck, I don't know what to bring my attention to, so I'm going to do whatever the world gives me? If you don't create a path for yourself, one will be created for you. And that takes deep mental work in observation of your thoughts. Why am I thinking this? What belief does this thought stem from? What belief about myself does this current thought stem from? Does that belief align with who I want to be? No? BAM! Kill that fucking belief. It will take time to kill that fucking belief, but once you fucking observe it and pinpoint it, you create a target that you can fucking pull back the scope on and shoot. Define the terms of what your problems are. Are you depressed? What is depression? Depression is self-aggression. And if we looked at it from these aspects, defining these terms for what they were, it would be much easier to get rid and identify and kill that depression. If you were told depression is self-aggression, okay, then you start to ask yourself the question, what am I mad at myself for? What am I being angry towards myself for right now? And that's when you start to, oh, fuck, I hate myself. Oh, fuck, this is the beliefs that I've accumulated because of the fucked up situation of my life. Oh, God damn, I hate myself. Oh, my God, my parents was never winners. Nobody around me knows the deal, knows how to get to where they want to be and how am I expected. You identify that self-aggression. You identify that problem through observing it all day. Observing your thoughts, asking where they come from. Sometimes you'll get to deep answers like from your childhood. A lot of the times it comes from the fucked up things that your parents did, the fucked up situations that you were put in. This is psychic individuation. This is the baseline root of the reason people study psychology. So observe yourself enough. Observe where your problems stem from. Define them for what they are. Give them identity so they can be fucking blown away. Identify them. Scope them out and shoot. I'm laying in bed in the morning. I can't fucking get up. God. The feeling of being in this bed is overriding the will that I have to be the person I want to become. Why am I letting it? Why am I identifying with the feeling instead of the true internal desire? I'm laying in bed. And I'm like, fuck. Why don't I want to get up? And then I think to myself, oh. That's because I'm thinking about the feelings in my body right now. They feel like shit because I'm familiar with them feeling like shit. So that's what they're going to do. I eat before I go to sleep. 2 in the morning, I'm snacking. Body isn't focused on regeneration, rather being focused on digestion. No wonder I feel like shit and unrested when I'm getting up. So I identify with the feeling and I go back to sleep. If you can't think greater than how you feel in this moment right now, you will never change and nothing will ever get better for you. And you have to be constantly thinking to get better, to do better, to propel yourself up, not down. That is what God wants for you. Personally, I don't believe I could do any of this on sheer individual willpower. I need faith. I need to believe that there is a life in store for me beyond what I have right now in order to start identifying with that person who already has those things. Because if I'm identifying with the person who already has the material desires attained, they will come to me nonchalantly. I'm not even going to get all fucking excited and crazy when they do come because I already expected them to come because they were already here every day and every night. When I wake up and visualize, when I go to sleep and visualize the future. You will never bring the future to fruition, the proper future that you want for yourself, if you don't go through the moment. And going through the moment allows us to be aware. It allows us to be aware of what certain things are attacking us in this moment and how we can slay, slice, and dice through them with our fucking sword. The awareness is the key, and it's the only way that you're going to be able to observe yourself for what you are, set the bar low enough, and actually start to climb the ladder of the dominance hierarchy, which you wish to be at the top of. How do we get that awareness? We fucking meditate, bro. We observe our thoughts objectively, not identifying with them because they are not us. Thoughts can come from anywhere. Thoughts can come from Fox News. Thoughts can come from CNN. Thoughts can come from YouTube. Thoughts can come from your past traumas. And none of that is fucking you. It's fucking you, but it ain't you. What culture has been created around you? What are you familiar with? Is it bringing you good results? Get familiar with something new if the answer to that question is no, which I guarantee it is if you're still this far in the video. You must align with the frequency of your desire in order to attain it. You must align with the frequency of being the person who gets money in order to get that money. We live in a universe of assumption and perception. So you change your perception and you will change the life in front of you. Internal, external. External reflects internal. What you are, you will see in front of you. Law of assumption. The universe is full of assumptions and it's full of perception, right? You see that person, you know this tactic. If you walk like you know what you're doing, no one is gonna fuck with you. You will be left alone if you walk like you know what you're doing. Nobody's fucking with that guy. He walks into the function like he already know what the fuck going down. He laughs when you say, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Oh, okay, I probably shouldn't fuck with that guy. If we can change people's perception of us just by acting in a certain way, we can also do that with our perception of ourselves. And we need to do that in order to change the perception of other people and bring what we want to bring in this life to fruition. You have to be willing to turn into somebody who does complete the task. Start acting like him and you will be him. Straight up, no kizzy, it don't change. The law ain't gonna ever change. You will bring what is in your brain. If you believe it, it's so. If you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. Hey, hey! It ain't gonna ever change because it's the truth. It's the laws of the universe. Study them if you don't know what I'm talking about. Secret laws of the universe. It ain't all just random. It ain't all just, oh, nothing fucking matters. Everything you say, do, and think gets brought back to you. So it does matter if you care about your life and living it. All this fucking nihilistic, oh, we're gonna die anyways, so none of it matters. That's not the question. The question is, how do you want to live right now? You can fucking pick it. You can change it, weave it, maneuver it to be whatever you want it to be because you emit power. Power that you are probably unaware of because you've been conditioned to be unaware of it. Because if you were aware of it, the people at the top who run your life and run the circumstances around you would be extremely fucking scared. You have the most power in the fucking universe. You have more power than anything you've ever seen. Because everything you do see comes from the power of the human. Every invention that you're like, wow, I can't imagine how he did that. Wow, accomplishments that we are fucking enthralled by from people. The whole life we see around us, skyscrapers, buildings, business, how the world operates comes from the human mind. And you have access to that just like every man outside and in front of you. Every single man in history, today and the future, had access to this infinite intelligence, this divine principle and intelligence that allows us to bend reality. Reality don't bend us, we bend it. And if you allow it to bend you, you're in the hands of fucking Satan. We decide what this life is going to be for us in the forefront of our mind, because that is what is reflected in our external reality. We make it what we want. The whole point of alchemy is turning the mind into the external, the material. You want to build a fucking house. You had it in your mind, okay, I'm going to build this house, and then it gets built, and then it's an actual physically manifested thing. Just like building a fucking house, you have to build strength in your mind in order to have any strength around you. Why do we desire to overcome challenges? Why do we desire to be physically strong, to be financially secure, to be mentally okay? Because it strengthens the fortitude of our vibrations. It strengthens the fortitude of our bubble and the bubble we have around us, of our family that we create. So overcoming each challenge allows you to feel confident and sufficient enough to keep overcoming more challenges. And the more challenges you overcome, the stronger of a base that you will build, mentally, physically, financially, however you want to put it. It's important to overcome the challenge. And if you don't start viewing yourself as the person who can overcome the challenge, you never fucking will. Now let's pick it up. Say fuck you to the people who don't want us to succeed. Create the person who does succeed. Pick up bricks and start fucking laying them. Start becoming the person who does it. Who does. Start becoming the person who does and receives. You receive what you believe. What you think this reality is, it then becomes. So allow it to become something beautiful. It's hard to find that strength with pure willpower alone. Willpower is finite. We can't run forever. Trust in your creator. Trust in fucking God. However you want to conceptualize that. Because you never did it on your own. You always had help from some type of source. And when you ask the direct source, when you ask the source directly to give you blessings in exchange for doing good things, for remaining a good person, you will receive those blessings. Ask and you shall receive. But motherfucker, you better make sure you're doing them in goodwill, or else that's gonna come back to you too. And it ain't gonna be fucking pretty. You want good things in your life, put out good things. And if you keep putting out bad things and negative energy, that will inevitably manifest right in front of your fucking eyes. And you don't want that anymore, and neither do I. Harness the power within and go, accomplish and create. Look in the mirror and say, I love you 10 times and see how that makes you feel. Do it every day until you start to believe it. And once you do believe it, you'll watch your life change in real time. And you won't even need any of these fucking videos of people talking about these principles and trying to help you. Because you'll already understand the core fundament. You are what you believe you are. If you're not where you want to be, get to changing those beliefs. Figure out where they come from. Observe each thought and where it comes from. Observe each feeling and where it comes from. Observe yourself. Observe yourself throughout the day. Become present and aware It's the only key to becoming the person that you want to fucking be.